So Jalen Hurts everyone wants Jalen Hurts right now. He was a second-round pick. Everyone had a chance to draft him. The Eagles had the foresight. They developed him. They took him from a guy that no one saw as a franchise quarterback to a guy who went, blow for blow with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl and came 3 points short. Cut to the 49ers. You're looking at Brock Purdy like, great story, but you're coming off an injury, and boy, you have nothing in common with Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. You might just be more of a great story than a great quarterback. But next to you is Trey Lance, who's even younger and, frankly, has a whole lot in common from a skill set perspective as Jalen Hurts. Younger, bigger, maybe not as fast, but similar. So I think Niner fans are thinking, hey, could Trey Lance be the next Jalen Hurts?
I think there's things about Trey Lance that are better than Jalen Hurts and things that are different. They have similarities, things that Jalen Hurts is better at. To me, I think Jalen Hurts is a better runner of the football. I think he looks more like
he's so good.
Yeah,
he's really good.
He runs like a running back. Trey Lance runs kind of straight up. He doesn't look like he should be run. He definitely shouldn't be running between the tackles. If you're a straight up runner and you're a quarterback and you're running between the tackles, that's an absolute formula for disaster.
Well, Hurts is sort of built like a running back too. He's 6'1", 225, and he's power lifter. He squats. He stays low to the ground. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you.
They have different styles of running. Like I know Jalen Hurts is 40 time. I believe is a 4.5.
4.59. 4.59. Which isn't overwhelming, although it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah. And there's actually people have said that Trey Lance is his trainer. It's not official, but they said Trey Lance is about a 4.59. But the difference is the quickness, the short area quickness. Jalen Hurts has that.
It seems like Trey maybe builds up as he gets downfield, but that initial burst. I mean, Brock Purdy seems like he has a more initial burst than Trey Lance, frankly.
Yeah, their top speed, Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts, very similar. But as far as like short area quickness, I think the advantage goes to Jalen Hurts. Now, where they are similar, and maybe Trey Lance even has a better advantage, I think Trey Lance has a stronger arm than Jalen Hurts. And if you look at their numbers between their first 4 games of their passing numbers, for their first 4 games, which is a very small sample size, Trey Lance's numbers were actually slightly better than Jalen Hurts. So the Eagles invested in Jalen Hurts, believed in him, developed him, and turned him into an MVP-type quarterback that we saw this year that took the Eagles to the Super Bowl. 49ers have yet to do that in Trey Lance. They've been bullshitting, excuse my language, but that's what they've been doing with guys like Jimmy Garoppolo and even Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy, but he is basically an upgrade over Jimmy, right? He's more elusive in the pocket, but as far as like arm talent, they're very similar. I don't think Brock Purdy is that guy, in my opinion. I know that's going to piss off everybody watching this, but that's just how I feel. I don't know if Trey Lance is, but they got to find out because otherwise they're just going to continue bullshitting and messing around, right? Find your guy. And if Trey Lance is the guy, I'll be the first one to tell you, let's move on. But I just want to see.
You got to know. You got to know. You gave up too much. He's too talented. He's too young. You got to find out. Because if you don't, he could go to another team and end up being the next Jalen Hurts or better, and then you look so stupid. Yeah. So stupid. Got to find out. And what's interesting about this situation with Brock Purdy and his elbow is it gives the Niners an opportunity to find out what they have in Lance. Go slow with Brock. It's his future's at stake. He does look like he could be a quality starting quarterback for you or better. Take it easy with him. If he's not going to be there in training camp and he's not even going to be ready to start throwing until the end of August, take it easy with him. Ramp him up slowly. Give Trey Lance a chance because really, rushing Brock Purdy back on an 85% arm doesn't necessarily guarantee you a bunch of wins early in the season anyway. Don't jeopardize his future. Bring him back slowly and give Trey Lance a chance. We are saying, sorry. Yeah. Give Lance a chance. Okay.
If they go with Brock Purdy, they're just saying, we're cool with the offense the way it's been for the last 6 years, which is short dump offs, yards after catch. And why are you going to continue to do the same thing over and over again and you haven't had the results that you wanted? Trey Lance is something different that Kyle Shanahan has never had in his time with the 49ers. See what it can be, and if it's not, keep searching. But I don't think the formula for short dump offs, passing 7 out of 10 passes under 10 yards is the formula for beating Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You might win some games, but you're not beating Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
And I think with Lance, what he needs to show, I'm not saying he's going to be Jalen Hurts, but what he needs to show when he gets this opportunity this year, he needs to show he can hit the layups. You know, like there are a lot of short throws in this offense. If you can hit those, like Jalen Hurts has been able to do with the Eagles, he had the same front leg lock. He worked on it, fixed it, and now he can hit the layups and complete 2/3 of his throws. If Lance can hit the layups, he can hit the sideline throws, the intermediate throws, the deep throws. But if he can't hit the layups, then he's not going to be a successful starting quarterback. That's, you know, the stuff that Brock Purdy does really, really well. And frankly, they're layups. So I'm not betting against Trey Lance here. Jalen Hurts figured it out. He worked it out. Lance can too. It's just that he's had to spend so much time rehabbing. I don't know if he's been able to spend the same time on task on mechanics that Hurts has. But that's what the offseason is for. Let's see what happens.
And another big thing for me is a lot of fans, a lot of media, a lot of content creators yesterday talking about, you know, this could be Trey Lance. I don't believe that. To me, Trey Lance does not have the same short area quickness to get outside like Jalen Hurts. That's why, you know, based on Kyle Shanahan's record, what we've seen him say about running quarterbacks with Trey Lance's type of ability, it favors going through the middle. But Trey Lance is an upright runner. And if you run him through the middle, he's going to get hurt. So I'm not saying don't ever run Trey Lance, but you have to do it in a certain way. Trey Lance is going to be most effective as a runner on the off-script stuff. You know, implement that quarterback sneak by all means, though, please, because that is unstoppable. I think Trey Lance would be really good at that. But, you know, Trey Lance is not Jalen Hurts when it comes to running. And if you run him that way, he's either going to get hurt or he's not going to be effective. They need to – I think like Kyle Shanahan had this picture in his mind of who he thought Trey Lance was going to be, and it doesn't match up with who Trey Lance actually is. And he needs to adjust and cater to Trey Lance's strengths, which is his arm and his ability to make plays outside of the pocket off script. That's where he's going to be effective as a runner, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that you can't give up on Trey Lance as a runner because I do think that 11-on-11 could really supercharge the Niners offense the way it did with Philly. And it's just, I just like the way that Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni run him. Hurts better than the way Shanahan, he did it with RG3 too. Like, he seems kind of like he doesn't want to coach a mobile quarterback. And he gets one. And he's like, okay, I mean, I'm smart enough. I can do it. But he's going to get hurt. And there's nothing I can do about that. So here we go. And then he gets hurt, like I told you. Whereas you got in Philly, they're like, okay, we can do this. We want a mobile. It's not that we're stuck with a mobile quarterback. We want a mobile quarterback, and we are going to use him in such a way that we think we can protect him. So they're running him on like third downs, fourth down, like high reward situations, and it's not over and over. It's not a steady diet of it. It's a lot of handoffs, and then when you least expect it, it's like quarterback counter. And then of course Jalen Hurts, to your point, is very elusive and strong and very good. But I think that Kyle could do a better job of running Trey Lance. I don't think you just turn him into Joe Burrow. I think you do want to use him. You don't just turn him into Joe Burrow, but Kyle, like, you gotta want to protect your mobile quarterback. You didn't. I think he has this attitude of, well, here we go, see what happens. But you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really think Trey Lance's best stuff is going to be off script, but I'm not saying totally abandon him as a runner, but just do it intelligently, right? Do it.
Think about this. Week 1 next year, him and Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Mm-hmm. I mean, Christian McCaffrey could average 7 yards a carry just because he's running a zone read with Trey Lance, and defenses think Lance is going to keep it because that's his reputation. Like, yeah, not really. He could just be handing off from the shotgun, and all of a sudden the Niners running backs go crazy. Like with Philly, their running backs are not that great. Miles Sanders did nothing. Kenneth Gainwell's okay. He has to run for them to have a running game. With the Niners, just the threat of him maybe running supercharges everyone else.
Just the threat. That's the
just
thing.
The threat. Yes.
Run them enough to where it's a
just
threat.
Enough.
And then
show the zone read, but you don't have to you don't have to keep it all the time. Like, that's what killed me with the way they use him. Is he's not he doesn't have to be your leading rusher. Right. He doesn't have to be. He can be the second leading rusher. Or, frankly, on this team, he could be the fifth leading rusher because you have so many guys. But he's a factor, and you don't know when he's going to get the ball. And when he does, it's a touchdown. It's a first down on third down. It's not 2nd and 9 in the first quarter. That's not that. Yeah. That's
it. He's the 5th best rusher on the 49ers, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And,
yes,
and
he is.
I'm not trying to insult him, but that's the truth.
McCaffrey's better. Yeah. Elijah Mitchell's better. Debo's better.
Jordan Mason.
Ray's better. Jordan Mason. So all those guys, Trey can enhance them. Yeah. And then if he keeps it 4 times a game, 2 are off script, two are zone read or whatever, two are design runs, and one's a touchdown, one's a first down.
I
Game changing plays.
I don't even care how many off script stuff he runs because that's a more situation, right? You can run it 5 times off script for all I care. It's the design runs that don't put him in a position to succeed. If he's an upright runner.
On 1st and 10 between the tackles. Like, yeah, let's establish the run with Trey Lance. No. That's your quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. And I feel like he did that stuff with RG3 too. Like, okay, this is my featured rusher. Like, oh, man. No, not like that. Yeah. And I know that Jalen Hurts runs the ball like 10, 11 times a game, but if you watch it, it's in high leverage moments, and they do a great job of protecting him. They have a great offensive line. He's not getting – like, Trey Lance was getting obliterated. Carrying people on his back, getting 2-3 people. Like, hey, no one gets shots like that on Jalen Hurts. No one gets shots like that on Jalen Hurts.
Also, Trey Lance is used to running people over at North Dakota State. It's in his mind. That's the way he runs. He's not going to be able to do that in the NFL. He's going to get hurt. So Kyle Shanahan has to understand that. Like, that's not going to work. And until Trey Lance either adjusts or learns to run in a different manner, Kyle Shanahan has to adjust the way he uses them. And I don't know if Trey Lance is ever going to change. I don't know if you go from being an upright runner that trucks people into a more elusive down, shoulder pads down runner. I don't see that. I don't see Trey Lance turning into that. Right? That's not who he is.
No, but I feel like as the quarterback running thing, it's supposed to be the element of surprise. And even though the Eagles do it a lot with Jalen Hurts, it's a surprise when they do it. And I feel like if the Niners can get that, then it'll be okay. Like, what my adjustment would just be early in the season, don't run him. Line up in the shotgun, make it look like the zone read, but just hand off, because defenses are expecting you to run him. And when they finally adjust, then you spring him. And no one will be tracking him as he runs. So that would be my adjustment.
Yeah.
Right there.
Save it for when you absolutely need it. Yeah.
Decoy.